Have you ever wondered why Buddha, the enlightened one, chose to abandon his royal life? Our story begins with Siddhartha Gautama, the man who would become Buddha. Born into the lap of luxury as a prince, his early life was one of opulence and privilege. His father, the king, kept him sheltered from the world's harsh realities, fulfilling a prophecy that said Siddhartha would either become a great king or a spiritual leader. But destiny had other plans. Siddhartha's path took a sharp turn when he encountered the suffering that existed outside his palace walls. The harsh realities of old age, sickness, and death shook him to his core. He realized that material wealth couldn't shield him or anyone from life's inevitable sorrows. This profound realization led him to renounce his royal life. This was the start of a transformative journey, a quest for enlightenment. Imagine abandoning everything you know to seek the truth. This was Buddha's path to enlightenment. In his quest for truth, Siddhartha Gautama, the prince of the Shakya kingdom, renounced his royal life at the tender age of 29. He left behind the luxuries of the palace, his wife, and his newborn son. His heart ached with the suffering he saw in the world, and he sought to understand the reason behind it all. Imagine trading the comfort of silk for the roughness of rags, the delicacies of the royal kitchen for the uncertainty of alms. It was a journey of profound sacrifice, a testament to his resolve. He became an ascetic, and for 6 long years he walked the path of extreme deprivation, believing it to be the way to truth. However, the path of asceticism proved to be as fruitless as the life of luxury he had left behind. His body was weakened, his spirit nearly broken, but his resolve remained unshaken. Siddhartha Gautama realized that neither indulgence in worldly pleasures nor extreme deprivation led to enlightenment. Instead, he proposed a middle way, a path of moderation away from the extremes of self-indulgence and self-mortification. It was under the Bodhi tree in Bodh Gaya that Siddhartha Gautama, now the Buddha, sat in meditation. He vowed not to rise until he had found the truth. His mind delved deeper into the realms of consciousness, transcending the illusions of the mortal world. After 49 days and nights, he emerged from his meditation with a radiant smile. He had discovered the 4 noble truths and the Eightfold Path, the key to liberation from the endless cycle of birth and death. He had found the answer to the suffering he saw around him. He had found the truth he sought, not in the external world, but within himself. He had discovered the path to enlightenment, the path that would lead others from the darkness of ignorance to the light of wisdom. And thus, overcame the cycle of birth and death. Siddhartha Gautama became the Buddha. Buddha, now enlightened, had a profound understanding of life and its sufferings. But what did he teach? Well, let's delve into the heart of Buddha's teachings: the 4 noble truths and the Eightfold Path. These teachings, like a compass, guide us through the labyrinth of life towards a state of ultimate peace and enlightenment, known as nirvana. Firstly, the 4 noble truths. Buddha taught that life, in its essence, is dukkha, or suffering. This is the first truth. We experience suffering in obvious ways like illness, aging, and death, but there's also a subtle form of suffering that permeates our ordinary, day-to-day life. This is the dissatisfaction we feel when we don't get what we want, or when we have to endure what we don't like. The second truth is the cause of this suffering, which Buddha attributed to tanha, or desire. It's our craving for things to be different than they are, our incessant want for more, that keeps us bound in the cycle of suffering. The third truth, however, brings a ray of hope. It is the cessation of suffering. Buddha asserted that it's possible to end this suffering by extinguishing our desires. And how do we do that? This brings us to the 4th truth, the path leading to the cessation of suffering, known as the Eightfold Path. This path is a practical guideline to ethical and mental development with the goal to free us from attachments and delusions, and it leads to understanding, peace, and wisdom. The Eightfold Path is often represented as a wheel with 8 spokes, each representing a different aspect of the path. Right understanding, right thought, right speech, right action, right livelihood, right effort, right mindfulness, and right concentration. These teachings of Buddha aren't just philosophical musings but a way of life, a journey towards inner peace and enlightenment. They encourage us to look within, to question, to understand, and to ultimately liberate ourselves from the shackles of suffering. Buddha's teachings, simple yet profound, continue to guide millions towards a path of peace and enlightenment. From a sheltered prince to an enlightened teacher, Buddha's life was a testament to the power of self-discovery. But what is his legacy? The story of Buddha travels far beyond the borders of his homeland India and permeates the corners of the world. Buddhism, the path Buddha illuminated, began its journey in India and swiftly spread across Asia, reaching as far as Japan, Korea, and China. Today, it echoes in the hearts of hundreds of millions worldwide. The spread of Buddhism wasn't merely a geographical journey, it was a voyage into the human psyche, a deep dive into our collective consciousness. Buddha's teachings, encapsulated in the Four Noble Truths and the Eightfold Path, continue to hold relevance in our fast-paced, technology-driven world. They guide us toward understanding life's impermanence and the nature of suffering, leading us toward liberation. One might wonder, what makes Buddha's teachings so timeless? The answer lies in their universal appeal. Buddhism promotes compassion, urging us to treat others as we wish to be treated. It fosters mindfulness, reminding us to be present and engaged in each moment, rather than lost in past regrets or future anxieties. Moreover, it advocates for peace, encouraging us to seek harmony within ourselves and with the world around us. Buddha's legacy is not confined within the walls of temples or the pages of ancient texts. It is alive in the silent prayers of a monk, in the serene gaze of a meditation practitioner, in the compassion of a random act of kindness. It thrives in the pursuit of inner peace and the quest for enlightenment, in the commitment to a life of mindfulness and compassion. The teachings of Buddha, his wisdom and his path to enlightenment have transcended millennia, shaping cultures, influencing philosophies, and transforming lives. Buddha's legacy, thus, is not just in the religion he founded but in the timeless wisdom he imparted.